Go. 3, 2, 1, go. So what's this rule behind passwords?
So everyone always, with their passwords, always starts with a word or a letter or something
That's
like
true.
that. So you just throw a number in and you make it like 50 times harder for password guessing.
Oh, see, that's
always.
a tip. That is a tip I had not heard. So, yeah. Okay,
So,
I'm going to have to do that.
I learned that one in my boot camp, and I was like, well, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to switch the ass end of mine to the front end. Right, there we go. Yeah. All right, cool.
I had no idea.
Man, it's coming up time where they're going to make me change all my work passwords, and they won't let you use the one for I bet you that'll fuck it up, man.
That is totally different.
I bet you that'll totally fool that motherfucker. It's the exact same password, it's just in a different order. Ha
Oh, yeah, that'll totally pass.
All right, I'm going to try it. So,
I mean, I'm doing exactly what you're not supposed to do and just change the last number.
Log in 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Whichever. Oh, it ends in a 5. Here's a 6. Here's a 7.
I know.
I did that for years where I would just increase the year on it. So I think I had the same password at one school for so long that it got up to like a decade. So after my original password.
If you ever want to check, you can go on to haveibeenpwned.com.
I've been on that site, yes, and I have been pwned.
I've been pwned
so many times. So it's usually by like some bullshit. Like I signed up for Kahoot and got pwned through that. It's this online quiz system that I use for trivia. So when I play trivia in my classes, it's easy.
Oh, the kids use Kahoot. I was like, I've used Kahoot. When the hell
kids
did I
use Kahoot a lot.
Yeah,
so you can find a million different trivia like Kahoots on there. So
it's kind of cool.
It's fun. It's easy to play, and you don't have to sign up for anything unless you're hosting one. And so that's how I got. So.
We're carrying that theme.
We're carrying that, and I've got a huge I got tonight. So yeah, we'll save that for a little bit. So
I want to know.
Yeah, I got bad. So, anyway,
did it cost you money?
No, it cost me nothing but pride, and I owe Jeffrey a big. You were right, Jeff.
Oh,
so we're gonna hang on to that one for a little bit.
Interesting.
Oh, all right.
We had homework.
I did not get to
watch it. Okay.
I watched it. I watched it before. Yeah.
I watched a chunk of it. I got to rewatch it because I was grading papers at the time, and I turned to look at it, and something was like, "How the fuck did that happen?" So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think I know what point in time in the movie you're talking about, but we'll hang on to that.
Does it feel tonally different from everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the reason I want to bring this up for you here is all right. If we're talking about the same thing and it involves like a sequence right before a paper cutter.
Oh no. Okay, I know what you're talking about though.
Okay.
I think now, yeah.
Right. It's beautifully choreographed, right?
Yeah, if it's one I'm thinking of.
It's a dance scene.
No, okay, no, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay, all right. I got you on that one. That was one of the things where I looked over my shoulders. What the fuck is going on now?
Okay,
yeah,
so this is the thing is that section is so tonally out of
okay.
It's not set up. It comes out of nowhere, right? But it is what's interesting is that is the internet's far and away favorite part.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. So yeah,
it's absolutely bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Right? It comes out of nowhere. It is the way it's set up in terms of like when the beat starts and when the alarm goes silent is great.
Yeah.
But this has no setup, and it is widely. I mean, people love people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been imitating that dance for what? It's been around for a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
And I wanted to ask. This is where the question I had was: did this movie go hard enough where the weirdness of things like that? Well, I don't want to say necessarily weirdness, but the out of placement of things like that.
There's a lot of things that are out of place in that movie.
See, all right, I don't want to get into the logistics of I don't want to sit there and say all right, why did you pick a woman? Robotics is, I don't know, 99% male. But I got.
I'm not even going there, man. I'm talking about rubber ears and shit. So.
Well, yeah, that's part of the. I mean, that's part of the.
You will not be able to unsee that. You're an effects kind of aficionado. When you see that, you'll be like, "What the fuck was that?" Yeah.
It's
they don't do that.
No, they did that exact same thing in Kill Bill, if you recall, but with the lip.
They did. Yeah. Oh shit, there's one I haven't seen in a long time.
It's been a while.
And
I seen the second one not too long ago.
Yeah.
So, because I actually hadn't seen that one all the way through, and so I sat down and watched it.
Really?
Yeah, I'd always seen like Fandango clips of it, so I was like, all right, I know all the good parts. But then you and I, like on the podcast, maybe like a year. We've been going almost 2 years now, so I don't
think
know.
so. Yeah. Well,
We were talking about
before
Pai
COVID.
Mei, so and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I gotta go watch the whole
Yeah.
thing. So yeah.
Well, the other thing that's a disconnect for me on this, and I'll get to that, is once you get to the ending, right?
Mhm.
And they have that kind of like sweet music playing and
Is this
things are
Megan
resolved.
or
Yeah.
Megan?
Yeah.
I did not. I had to turn it off before.
Okay,
I got to the end.
okay.
I don't know how it ends. So,
Okay. Oh well. All right. Well.
I got to the point in time where there's the dance scene and a little bit past that, and I was like, okay, I've got to rewatch this because I don't know what the fuck's going
It's
on now.
totally cool. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. There's a lot of things that I do like about it, but there are parts that I'm like, all right. I'll leave it at that, especially since you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's still free, so you might
It's
as well
free.
jump in there. And do
Yeah,
this.
it was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but
Yeah, it's not horrendously long. It's
No.
not. It doesn't do the cardinal sin as far as I'm concerned of being over 2 hours.
no.
That's my
It's quite a bit short of that. So
Yeah.
it's good. So
yeah.
I don't know. I thought the setup was kind of intriguing, but
That's the thing is
Yeah.
I think there's so I mean the obvious like parallel that you're going to use is Spielberg's AI, and the flip on this where you have the replacement for the son instead of the sister,
Right.
I'm like, actually that kind of that's a neat premise, and instead of replacing a lost sibling, it is making up for
AI. Are we thinking of the same movie?
Oh, we should be.
Sibling?
Oh, never mind. I was thinking of Minority Report there for a second.
No, way different
Yeah,
movie.
way
No.
different movie. Okay, I don't think
Oh, I
I've
was
ever.
thinking of.
I don't think I've
Smith
ever
one.
actually seen AI.
Oh.
So
You haven't?
yeah, I've seen iRobot.
I was thinking I.
Yeah,
I've
I don't.
seen that
I
too.
don't think I've seen AI. So
Oh.
in fact, I know I haven't. Yeah.
That's, okay. Well, it's
Does that have Haley Joel Osment?
uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I think I've seen it.
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know if I've
Does
seen
it have
it.
Tom Cruise in it?
Nope.
No.
Okay,
That's
no,
not
I have
Minority
not seen
Report.
it. Yeah. Okay.
No, it has Haley Joel Osment. It has
Kevin Spacey? No.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh no, he's in with a different one with Haley Joel Osment, where he's like an K-Pax.
Yeah, that's a way
That
different
is a way
movie.
different
Yeah. No, it has Jude Law. In one of his probably his breakout role. But anyway, so I'll save you the details. Is it's a very similar setup in the sense that they have in that movie the parents have a kid that has that comes down with terminal something, right? I don't
Okay.
remember what the
Yeah.
disease was. So
Terminal plot disease.
exactly, yeah. Exactly, a not so terminal plot disease. So because they think it's terminal, they put the kid into storage, right? And then this company,
You box him back up.
yeah, I know. And then you got fucking Dave, looking, yep,
Right.
looking at me, placing a bid on it. But
The Yup truck.
yeah. But that's the premise is that, and then there's this company that's making artificial children, and the distraught mother and father, with the loss, they try this out, they get attached to this robotic child, right? And then what happens is the kid comes out of storage. It turns out that they find a way to deal with it. So the two kids end up coming into the same home, but they don't mesh.
Oh, okay.
And so, like a dog, the mother basically drives out into the forest and says, "You're free, boy," and they ditch the robotic child. So that's the setup for.
Oh yeah, I've not seen that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen this either.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth watching. I would say that if you're supposedly this is reconstructed from Kubrick's notes when Spielberg took over because Kubrick died. Supposedly this is faithfully translated. I think there's a part where the movie ends beautifully tragically, and then there's this part where you say, "Oh wait, there's more," and this is the point where everybody says, "No, you guys did
He
not."
done fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
This is the chapter you added.
This is where you had Spielberg to place up. Yeah.
Yeah,
We got to get away in the helicopter,
He
man. Yeah.
insists that was not the case, but I don't believe that for a second. But yeah, that's where the premise on this turns around is, yeah, so the kid loses her parents. The kid has to go live with the sister of one of the lost parents, and they don't connect, right? And that's where the mother, who's a roboticist, she's like, well, maybe she'll connect better with this doll, this living.
Oh, you've switched to this movie now.
Yeah, well, I'm just making a comparison.
I was trying to connect the dots between the
Jeff
kid
didn't
being
put a
left in the
transition on there,
forest
man.
and me. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
She gave him a doll?
Yeah, well, there is a doll. There's actually a robot teddy bear in AI too, who ends up being a great character. But both worth watching. I'll let you see it before we go into full discussion, because it's there's really a big question at the end of this movie that I'd like to discuss. But yes, I did watch Kill Bill not too long ago, and for you, the movie that I gave a shot after not having watched it for like 20 years to see if I connected with you better was Fight Club.
Oh, man.
And you know what? I liked it way better than I remember.
Really?
Surprisingly, yes.
I don't dislike Fight Club. I just think it's got a stupid message. So
I didn't care about the
what's funny?
message.
I don't think it has a message at all.
right. I think a lot of that's been copy pasted from what happened afterwards.
It's not even like the copy pasted thing. It's more so like any deviation from the neat part of this, where it's essentially the big mystery is poorly executed and disposable. I don't find that there's any kind of life philosophy that I took from this that was meaningful. But
but a lot of
time
people
frame
have.
would.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
I took nothing of
Well, you never do, so it's okay, man.
I
feel like the effects.
This was awesome. Oh, I totally did not see that coming.
Right. And you see he's been
That
dragging his ass up and down the streets. So
Oh,
I'm like,
so
okay. But yeah,
And then it makes you want to watch it again and be like, did they get something wrong? Is there a part there where they blew it?
They went back and edited their homework out of it, man. So yeah, I remember having the same feeling like the third or fourth time I watched it.
Or like Book of Eli and being like, did he look
Did
at
he get
something?
away? Yeah, exactly. It was like, how did he pull that shot
Did
off?
he?
Yeah, that guy didn't make any noise, and he was 300 yards away. So yeah, Book of Eli was definitely one of those ones. You're like, no, I got to rewind it right now.
It's like, that was badass,
Yeah.
but no way.
Book of Eli was just one of those. It wasn't huge at the theaters, but in like further distribution afterwards, then it came down to like everybody knew it or had saw it a secondhand way, and they were like, "Man, I should have saw that in the
It
theater."
was badass.
Yeah.
How come
I did
never
not
even
see
heard of
that in the
this?
theater.
I don't even remember
So-
like seeing a preview for it. When...
I remember watching it in a hotel room. So yeah, I was like, "What the fuck is this? Did I miss a Denzel movie somewhere?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
It's like, when did this even come out?
Well, and that's the thing is like with Denzel at that time too. I wouldn't have pictured that, because I was like, it was. You never know. Like in that phase, you would get like either like action Denzel or you would get like racism movie Denzel.
you would, yeah.
And so Book of Eli, it's ambiguous enough to, it's like, is this a racism movie? Because I don't know, I'm good. And then like, so there's two movies of his where he does action, and I find it absolutely brutally awesome. Is that and Man on Fire?
Man on Fire.
And
Those are kind of addictive. It's kind of like a Black John Wick, man.
it really is. Yeah, it's.
So, but it's Denzel, and so he's older and grislier.
He's
So
older. He's grislier. He has a name that sounds like Grizzle. I can't remember.
I can't remember
Well, she
what it
calls
is.
him Grizzly Bear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Greasy Bear.
This is yeah. Greasy. Yeah.
Greasy.
He's
Yeah,
got a name
he's
that
greasy.
sounds
Yeah.
kind of like grizzled. Yeah, and there's just
He does threats better than John Wick.
See,
though.
big time.
Yeah.
That's the thing between those and Unforgiven. Like, the reason he's pissed is
It's very
clear.
straightforward. Yeah.
John Wick, really clear.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Unforgiven, he's like, oh, she got cut up.
He's
Yeah.
not pissed.
He's
Let's
not.
go.
It's not his deal.
It's money
It's
until
money,
they kill
yeah.
his friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
it's not.
And that's like the last 8 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
You don't even know. You know?
Ah.
Yeah, that's okay, man. So
I need that start. Because otherwise, he was just like, yeah, my little kids are fine here in the middle of nowhere on their own, raising a farm. I might die.
you gotta separate them hogs, man.
I might
got the
die
fever.
along
They got
the
the
way.
fever, Paul.
It's going to be like 3 weeks, maybe more. I don't know.
I'm sorry, man. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, but here's the thing. Well, is if I want John Wick, I've got John Wick,
yeah, you got John Wick.
and I even have Black John Wick if I need to.
But
You,
did
you
they
have like 4 John Wicks
Did
now.
they have John Wick back in Unforgiven days?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It was just called something else.
His name was Bruce Willis.
His name was Bruce Willis, and he was in all the Die Hards.
Oh, I
Even
guess
the
that's
bad
90s
ones.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
all right,
that's the thing
fair.
is if I needed that, I'd be like, ooh, the Jackal, or I'd be like,
Oh, I can go watch The Fifth Element again.
or I'd be like, ooh, Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing.
Yeah, it's
Okay, that movie's kind of bad, man.
Is it? I haven't seen that.
it's rough.
Well,
But,
it's
I mean,
fistful
but
of
it's-
dollars, but in like fucking nowhere, Texas, in 1925 with Bruce Willis
Yeah.
and 2 Twin 45s. So, yeah, but it's got a pretty good gunfight or 2 in it. You know,
You get what you get. I mean, it's not.
the gunfight's naked in that one. Yeah, forgot about that.
It's not. There's no mystery when it comes down to
Uh-uh.
that. Yeah.
No.
And likewise, if I'm peeling a western and I want that, then I'll go straight to Tombstone.
Or Open Range.
Yeah.
You should go watch
I gotta
that
see
one.
that
Yeah.
one,
You'll like that. That one's got the gunfight at the end. It's got setup too, so it doesn't happen like as fast as John Wick's dog, but it takes about 15 minutes, and then you get this is perfect setup. Got it.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I'm good.
So this guy's the bad guy, and he speaks like Lucky Charms, so you can pick him out real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Oh, I'm not evil.
It's-
This is my land.
You're absolutely right.
And this is a Western?
Oh yeah.
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 Huh. Okay. I guess there's what?
It's got fat Robert Duvall in it. You'll love it, man. At his fattest. Yeah, he is tubby in that movie. So
Well, he's exactly as fat as he was in Falling Down.
I don't know. He's got a few more pounds on that one.
I didn't even
Falling
know
Down.
Robert Duvall and Falling Down.
Yeah,
He's
you don't
the-
need to go watch that again.
He's the police officer, so if you can picture that bald guy.
Wait, I'm the bad guy? Yeah. Yeah, you're the bad guy.
It took Nikki saying that was Robert Duvall in Godfather.
I know.
Well,
Before I was
okay,
like,
yeah, that's
oh my
crazy.
god, it
Well, he's got
is.
like orange hair in it.
Yeah, I
It's
was
weird.
like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Dude, he went bald at like 24. So,
he did. And God bless him.
It's a good thing his
yeah.
career was already going.
Well,
gotta get one more good one in, man, and you just like hit the lottery with that one.
just like think about what that does to a person when they're like an up and coming actor, and you're just like,
You
why?
take a shower and you're like,
Yeah,
no.
This is before hair plugs exist.
No.
yeah. So it's either wear a rug or, it's you just have to be that guy. There's a few actors like. So this was like the Mount Rushmore of like bald guys that made it okay to be bald, right? And obviously,
Willis?
well, Bruce Willis is
one of
one of them. Absolutely, he's one of them. Michael Jordan is one of them
Oh, that's true.
because he also started losing his hair at like 22.
Oh, and he had the donut, man. Yeah.
way.
He had the
He
donut.
looked. That was the thing. He looked old when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Right. The shit was receding way early.
Oh, but
you know.
he had the spot. Yeah.
Oh, LeBron got plugs.
Oh,
did he?
did? Yeah.
Which he's got to, because he was going bald.
Was he
at,
going bald too?
24. Like,
Oh,
it
okay.
was yanking back, and then all of a sudden he's got full head of hair again.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
that's true.
But
Guess I
yeah,
didn't
Michael Jordan was huge on that. Telly Savalas and Yul Brynner.
Telly Savalas comes with his own can of worms,
Who's
though,
that?
man. He's an old school
This is
actor.
Kojak.
Yeah,
He's-
he is Kojak. Yeah. So was his fame? He was the rapist in the Dirty Dozen. So
The new one or the
old one?
I didn't-
The new what? There's a new one.
yeah, that
Yeah,
has like
with
Chris Pratt,
Chris
Denzel
Pratt, yeah.
Washington.
Shut the
Oh wait, I'm
fuck
thinking
up.
of no, I'm thinking of the World War II movie. What is that called?
No, there's
Well,
a Dirty
Dirty
Dozen
Dozen,
with
yeah.
Chris Pratt and Denzel and.
Yeah, well, that's a western.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're not talking about a western.
No, the one that I'm
No,
thinking
Dirty
of.
Dozen, a World War II movie.
Yeah.
Is there?
Oh, you're thinking of no, it is the Dirty Dozen.
I could have sworn it's called Dirty.
I guess there's
Dozen.
2 of them. I didn't know that. So
Unless
yeah,
I'm
but you're right.
thinking
I've seen that.
wrong. Oh, okay.
So yeah, he gets shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of
Well, they
guys.
all die. Yeah. So it's basically a remake of what is it, Seven Samurai? So
But there was an old western Dirty Dozen too, right?
it's the same movie.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
just redone.
yeah, exactly. That's what they should
Well,
do.
so is
for...
310 the Yuma. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's an old movie. In fact, I think that one's been made 3 times.
No, wait. Are you talking
So-
about Magnificent Seven?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
My bad.
You're right. Yeah.
My bad.
Which is a remake of
Seven Samurai, yeah.
which is also which was remade back in the 50s as a western.
Yes.
So that one's got 3.
I was like-
Yeah. No, you're right. No wonder I was getting fucking confused there, man.
I was like, that can't be. It's like, dozen is 12. Are you like the name is there?
Yeah. No, Telly Savalas is a psychopath in Dirty Dozen with Lee Marvin.
yes,
Who
yes,
could
he
kick
is.
everybody's ass on his own.
That is also true. He was famously Kojak, the detective.
He was.
For many, many years. You'd know him from the old Players Club card commercials back when that was a thing. Or Diners Club.
Diners Club. He's been gone a long time. I doubt you'd remember him. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Yul Brynner, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
I recognize the name, but I can't
Yeah.
think of who it is.
He's bald.
yeah, he was bald.
He's
Michael Chiklis.
yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
I would give you that. I mean, that's more recent, but I mean, yeah, I would say the
The Pawn Stars guys.
I would say of the later ones, Bruce Willis probably did the most to make it cool. Yeah, to make it okay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because his ass was going bald.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else from.
Well,
Back
I
then,
mean,
but-
like from back then, but I mean, like, yeah, The Rock keeps his
Oh yeah.
his tight and you know.
Well,
and
lots of
athletes.
guys do now, man.
Yeah.
Lots of guys do now. So, oh, yeah, but before it was like, oh, you're fucking Lex Luthor, you know. So,
Well, and
there was
Gene
something
Hackman
wong with
didn't
you.
even go, didn't do
you're right.
that
He
bald.
didn't even go bald. Yeah,
He didn't even do that
Yeah,
bald.
I told him to F off.
yeah. Yeah, Gene Hackman was good too. I think he died recently. He was
How
old too. He's like 100. So
Gene Hackman made it to 100.
something like that. He was up there, man. So yeah, he was older than he looked. So
Well, it's weird because with him, there's a number of years where Gene Hackman stays the same age from.
he's perpetually 60 for 3 decades. Yeah.
kind of like again. Well, actually, here's another bald Mount Rushmore guy, Captain Picard.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
You see, and he, if you see him in old movies, he's
it's weird.
He's like when he's like 33 and his ass is bald, he looks the same, and then 10 years later, the same.
But didn't
the
Summer
same.
have the U?
Same. And then he was a fucking elf.
He
So-
well, he had the U for a while, and eventually he went completely clean.
Oh, okay.
yeah, he had the U in,
In
the,
the
first
later
couple of
seasons,
years
yeah.
of
Next Generation.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of becoming. It was like, okay, you're the old man of the crew, so kind of thing.
Right. Instead of being like, oh, well, of course you should be in charge. You're 20.
Right, which is why it was always weird when Riker was on the bridge without him.
It was always
Yeah.
uncomfortable for me.
It was. It was like, man,
You're gonna crash the car.
dude. I mean, you got a beard, but other than that, I wouldn't be convinced that you could shave. You know.
Well, think about those first 2 seasons where he didn't have.
You're
a beard.
right. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So where he
that's
does
like-
look like he's about 12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Um.
Yeah, he got fat too.
He's so fat.
Yeah, it's,
Now?
yeah.
But I think he enjoys it. I think he
doesn't seem unhappy fat.
Right.
So, you know.
I think he's well accepting of the consequences. Like, you know, the doctor is like, yeah, okay, so we talked about this last time, right?
Double the donuts. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, it's like, I can't break it down for you anymore. These are the risks that you have. These are the risks that you're going to endure. You don't seem to be doing anything with this.
Sign here so that you understand.
We live in California, so I mean, I gave you the name of like 6 personal trainers and nutritionists, and you've said no every time. And the dude is just kind of like, my love of pork will always outstretch. You know, he seems like the kind of guy that, all right, you talk about like him getting his good years in, because like if you get to that dumbass show that he did after Star Trek, which was like fact or fiction myths.
Yeah,
Where-
I watched him a ton of this.
Okay, because he is starting to get a little bit thick there, right? Now, the funny thing to me is like, I feel like that dude must have been like not a wide receiver. He must have been like somewhere, not offensive line, maybe like a tight end, right? And he was doing this in high school and college and still eating like 4,000 calories a day when he got into
Oh,
acting.
man, that's a lot of calories.
So-
man. Yeah.
Well, not for a dude, not when you're doing 2 a days, right? So,
Okay.
so you know, he gets through like the Next Generation and all that, and he's still, because he's putting on weight towards the end of that series, right? And I think he just never let go of that diet. He's just kind of like, no, I'm gonna eat like a linebacker for the rest of my life, and this is just how it's gonna go.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I gained 4 pounds since Vegas.
That was fast.
Wait, did you lose weight in Vegas?
No, well, I mean,
Oh,
Vegas till
Oh, here we go.
today.
The schools are on delay.
Yep. We have schools on delay. Might cancel it. I don't know.
They should cancel it. It's going to snow again tomorrow morning.
I
So,
know.
yeah. It's like, just fucking pull a pin. Just do it.
They haven't used one yet. Might as well.
Oh, you're right. They haven't. Yeah.
So, yeah, remember when we were kids, we'd have to wait until the morning and see the
Oh, yeah.
news and have it scroll by and have to keep looking to see if your school's on there or turn on the radio.
it was that or the radio, yeah.
Yeah, now we get notifications.
That's not my school does it. They make the announcement at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, but, you know, apparently it's just absolutely terrible down there. So, who knows?
Well, it is yucky out there.
Yeah, it is. But it's
But-
not like crunchy, icy snow.
No,
That's,
it's just kind of slick.
mine wasn't bad.
Mine
Coming
wasn't
over
bad,
here.
but, man,
It was-
watching
yeah.
some of these other cars go around, like,
Oh, it's always the first couple of snowstorms of the season where people are like, oh my God, I forgot, you know? So, or I just got here, you know, from Texas.
there's a, I didn't look into it, but there's a Hyundai that you can push a button and the snow chains will come out of your tire.
What?
Yeah.
That's cheating. You gotta know how to put those on, man.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that'd be outstanding. I didn't see how it worked or anything. I didn't click on it, but
Well, that's like school buses do that. So those are all those chains that are hanging underneath the school bus. If you didn't know that, so it just drives over them and it picks them up.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but they have to
stop.
permit that.
Well, I'm sure
It doesn't just happen. Right?
Well, there's a button. There's a thing
Yeah.
that you push. Yeah. So. Yeah, it doesn't just detect. Oh, snow.
Right. I know that we're getting to that point with technology where we're like, I have to get out and do this. Shouldn't it understand it on its own?
Right, yeah. Actually, speaking of that, I saw something on that Cybertruck, Elon Musk, like
Yeah.
fucking Pinewood Derby box looking
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. And it's apparently awful in the snow. I saw pictures of an F-150 tracking it out of the fucking ditch somewhere.
It weighs almost 7,000 pounds.
That's insane, man. What? Yeah. So, well, I can't imagine the battery that's in it.
Wow.
So, yeah. And it's big, too. It's not small. So,
holy cow.
yeah.
Now, would I drive it? Absolutely. But
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
In a heartbeat.
I think it's hideous, man.
You know, that's kind of why I like it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. That's the thing is, it doesn't hide what it is.
It's kind of hard to. So
Right.
yeah, you know.
And to me, it looks exactly like, low polygons and all. It looks like
It's very PS2. Yeah.
it looks like it looks like the warthog from the original Halo.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
And
The
there
thing
is
had a
something
little
to
bit more
that I find
styling on it,
alluring. Yeah.
It's missing a machine gun. So
It is missing a machine gun. That is correct. But yeah, with the limited angles that they had, it gives me that same impression.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think the ass end of it looks terrible. So there's just something about it.
The truck part.
The not truck part, yeah.
Right.
So it just looks absolutely awful. So, I mean, the front looks kind of cool, but
I don't think any of it looks cool. I just
yeah,
to me,
I think from the front it looks kind of neat, but as soon as you see it, it looks really out of proportion. The ass end just looks like a box. So, and yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see one in person. My brother spotted one the other day.
really
So,
in here.
yeah,
Oh.
so he said they were putting them in showrooms in some other dealerships across the country or something like that. I don't know. So, but he said he actually saw one. So I was like, that's kind of neat. So,
Yeah, there's something to it that, like, yeah, I wouldn't mind owning this, but I also don't. There's no part of me that's like, I don't know. Like there are things like when you feel like a kid, you're like, I'm saving up for this, right? I could not see myself saving up to buy this thing.
yeah.
If, I mean, that's the thing. You're making that face, and I don't blame you. It's not like I'd be unhappy if, like, oh, well, I opened this bag of Doritos and I won one, right? Like, so I'd be,
Throw that shit out.
I'd sell it.
well, see, and that's people, say that's,
Somebody's gonna want it.
well, some people say that's one of the problems of, like, prizes is you get like taxed for, the value of it.
You would anyway, even
yeah.
if you sold it.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
But no, that's exactly it. So you're like, where you see it as like a burden, you're like, I've lost money, blah, blah, blah.
It's got to depend on what it is and how big it is too. I mean, if you win $2 million and they take out $650,000 in tax, that's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good. It is
still
kind of a
pretty good.
heartbreaker, though, yeah.
But if they give you a car and you get taxed for the
Exactly.
value of it, then you're like, well, fuck.
Then you
well,
got to
gotta
cough
sell
up the
it.
cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why Mr. Beast stopped doing that. So, yeah, because people were getting raped on taxes when he's like,
Yeah.
oh, here's an island. It was like, yeah, great. You can have an island as soon as you cough up $1 million
Yeah.
in property taxes. It's like, oh, never mind. That's a bad idea.
Now, one other thing I did notice is as I was, browsing Amazon Prime and the stuff they had on there, they do have a live TV section, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of those channels are just specifically devoted to like one thing. And so while I was working, yesterday evening, there is, I don't know what the channel is. I don't give a fuck because they're all nondescript. But it was just running reruns of like early 80s Price is Right.
Oh,
And
that's
I
kind of
was
neat. Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
I am here for this
35
shit.
cents for a can of soup.
It was yes, it was staggering. And when they're like, guess the price of this car.
Right.
Right.
$6,000 for
Yes,
a brand new Buick.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
It was bananas.
Yeah. Yeah, but you were paying 22% on your mortgage. It's a little different, yeah. So, yeah.
And the showcases were awful because, like, I remember, like in the Prime where, okay, so Bob Barker's hair was still brown. So
that's weird.
That's how
That's
far
not
back
normal.
it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so when they're going through the prizes, the showcases sucked. It was just like,
Here's a dinette set. Yeah.
not even it's like, here's this dresser.
Oh, wow.
One.
Oh, okay. A dresser.
The
Nice.
I shit you not, part of the package was the carpet that it was on.
Yeah. But see, this is back when, I remember this a little bit. I remember when my parents would buy a new piece of furniture and they'd have a note on it.
A note?
Yeah, so they buy it on layaway.
Oh, okay.
From that
okay.
warehouse that was right over here. So
Sure,
yeah. So
yeah.
you would they would get like a piece of Ethan Allen furniture, which is like $1,200 fucking dollars
Yeah.
at the time, and so they'd have to get a note on it. So and then you pay down the note to a certain point, then it was on layaway. Then you had to go shore up the note, and then you can get it. So I remember that.
Bought a fish tank on layaway.
Yeah.
Explain. What?
Yeah.
What?
Why?
Because I wanted to get a turtle, so
Oh.
mom and dad made me buy the
Oh, when
tank.
you were a kid? Yeah. Okay.
So
I was thinking like I did this last week.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, way back. No, I got a credit card.
Well, I know you do.
Everything goes
I
on
was like,
credit card.
why would you put this? Like,
Layaway.
how big is this fucking fish tank that you got to
A
put
wall.
on Litterway? Yeah.
We replaced a wall.
Yeah. You got a little bit of that fucking like a rapper lifestyle in you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
These are my
Like-
freshwater sharks.
Not that I'm saying it wouldn't look cool, but there ain't no way. I don't know how you would even clean those things and all that kind of stuff.
You have a guy.
Yeah, I'm not paying for a guy. But I also wouldn't have a wall that's a fish tank because I also have kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
They're
suppose
expensive to maintain.
Oh, yeah.
They're really expensive.
well, not like the
The regular fish
Yeah.
tanks. No.
Yeah, no, they're fine. But if you
But you
get
get
one of
a-
those big ones, especially if you get a saltwater tank. So
oh well that yeah.
one of my uncles, he was into that for years. Yeah, it was like, "You're rich, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yep." Yep.
Yeah, I
And
don't
he
know
had
what
them
that-
little river sharks in it.
Did
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. I was a kid. I can't remember what he did. He was like an accountant, like a CFO for a company. So he's dead now, but yeah, his house was all decked out. It was right on the lake and stuff. And
Where
you know,
in Michigan?
yeah, and he was the first guy that I knew had one of those 3-color projection TVs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back when I was a
yeah.
kid, you stick your hand in front of it and the screen gets all fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 That shit would have been like $10,000 that year's money.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's back when you spent a shitload of money on a TV. So, you know.
Now they have TVs that you can still spend a shitload
can.
on.
Yeah.
But the difference ain't.
It ain't
that
that much.
crazy.
and
Marginal, man. It's or it's novelty,
Yeah.
right?
It is novelty. So,
So they have one now that I was looking at where I think it was 82 inches or something like that. It was big.
good
right?
lord.
But the appeal on it was that so you put the screen wherever it's going to go, right? And down here on the bottom, there's a box about this big, right? And it's not attached to the TV, right? You just plug in the TV and then you plug all of your crap into this.
So you don't have cords hanging
And
all
it
over the place?
basically zhuzhes that over there to the TV. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then I was just thinking about it, like, I feel like if you wait like 4 years, every TV is going
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
I bet you wait a year and you get conversion kits.
If you need to. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
It's got to be just a Bluetooth, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
no,
No?
it can't be.
Why?
Well, because Bluetooth isn't going to transmit that much
Okay.
data.
Yeah, I don't know
And
that
it's-
much about it.
And if you've used it, man, even just regular Bluetooth shit has a slight lag. It's weird.
But you wouldn't notice that unless you had something to compare it to.
Well, it would, because if you here's the thing is if you're going to take something like that, right? Even with so one of the things I was looking for was like speaker setups and stuff. It's like, do they not just make wireless speakers and stuff like this? No, they don't work like that because there's a delay, right? And so
Wait a minute, but how would you notice the delay? So,
if you have like this shit going to the TV and then you have audio coming out, right?
oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay,
Right.
that's
But
what
then
you
it
mean.
would probably set up the audio, just delay a second.
Yeah,
You have settings
it
in the
would
TV
sync it.
to mess with that.
yeah,
right?
okay.
Where you can sort of like offset it. It's weird. It doesn't work right.
No.
It's
Well, I mean, if it's already anticipating a delay of sending it to the TV, it probably has an algorithm.
See, I hadn't thought about that. I mean, yeah, you could create problems if you had a sound system there. I mean, if you just had speakers in the TV itself, then it wouldn't be a problem.
it
but-
makes a problem now.
yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's
But I thought you meant like a signal delay. So, like, you know, it's like, all right, so it's showing up in my box. It's 2 seconds faster than it gets to my TV. If you're watching the game, you're not going to notice that. Unless you had
No.
another TV setup that wasn't doing that. And you're like, yay, touchdown. Oh, shit. Another touchdown. Oh, it's the same touchdown.
I notice.
I know you notice, man, because you got your phone fucking set up to.
Or if I try and like tell somebody, oh, like if I'm trying to tell Jeff like that they scored a goal in a hockey game, and he's like,
what?
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'm like, fuck. All right, I gotta wait.
See, like my mom's got super fast internet. I don't know how that happened, but you know, if I'm watching the game and I'm on the phone with her, she's like, "Yeah, touch." I was like, "Fuck!" And then it's like 18 seconds later, it's like touchdown. It's
All
like,
right, I don't know about that.
Mine's bad, man. The internet in my neighborhood is hot fucking garbage. So
Yeah, you've made that clear, and the what you pay for it, is
and there's
a little bit.
no way around it, man. So like, there are no other providers. So
Really?
yeah, I thought there were, but there aren't. So yeah, so that's why I just can't wait for like T-Mobile 5G or something to get set up. My neighbor actually gave up and he got the fucking Starlink. So
It's that bad?
that's not that much better in terms of speed. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
He was like, I don't want to pay CenturyLink money anymore. Fuck him. So yeah, he got the Starlink. So he's got the little thing, it's a tiny little dish. Yeah. So.
You're in the heart of a city. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's just geography, man.
It's part of it's geography and part of it's that we're like right on the border of county land. So right there, they got that fucking weird ass square of county land in the middle of town there. And I don't know what kind of fucked up internet they have, but they extended it over to us, man. So yeah.
That's nuts.
I know, but I mean, eventually, like either Verizon or somebody will get the 5Gs in there. So yeah. I'll just get that.
Yeah, it's basically either gonna put a new or improved tower out there and you'll be fine, or shit will be overhead.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because you're just kind of in a weird geographical spot where you have to. The sucky thing about this, and this comes from working in this like the longest time, is like you've got people over there that are basically suffering, but all they do is they're going to look at the numbers and say how many people live here.
Yeah,
Right?
oh, absolutely. And our neighborhood, our HOA is not that big. They'd have to come in and they'd have to run cable into it directly. So, like, literally, CenturyLink has the 1 gig box, like, 8 blocks from my house. So, but it's that last 8 fucking blocks that they're just like, no. So, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like, you know, because, I mean, they have to go in, they have to rip up curb and concrete and stuff, so...
And you're pulling permits.
They don't give a fuck. So, yeah, so I just have to wait for the mobile to... The problem is like the tower. I am on the lee side of the hill from where the tower is.
Yep.
That tower services your fucking neighborhood just fine, but I live twice as close to it. But I'm on the lee side of the hill, and so it's stuck. Yeah.
Wow.
It's okay. Eventually they'll build one over there, and I'll be fine because I'll be on the right side of the hill. Yeah. So anyway. It'll be fine. That's what they told me at the T-Mobile store last time I went. They were like, just wait. So, because I was like, can you service my neighborhood? And they're like, pull up your address. And they're like, nope. They know, right down to the block. Yeah.
Wow, it might be a while then.
It might be. I mean, my phone service is fine. So, you know, like, I don't need the 5Gs on my phone. So, but, you know, I'd like the internet. So, eventually we'll get it. Someone will do it eventually. Or we'll just wait till fiber comes through because they're doing that all over this town.
Yep, they sure are.
They sure are.
I got a little notice about that going up in my neighborhood.
See, it's probably only a matter of time before it cleans up mine. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is like when you're talking about like wireless stuff. Have you ever, well, you don't have it set up on your computer, but if you ever put on like Bluetooth headphones and you watch a movie on your computer, you'll hear it. You'll notice that there is an offset the whole time through.
Mine's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but it's off.
Yeah, I don't use headphones on my computer anymore.
No, we'll see. I've had to do that for like difficult projects.
Got it.
You know,
That
when
makes sense.
stupid British people are talking softly.
Or extra gaily.
Yeah, buddy, I just send that shit back. At this point, at this point, I send it. It's not worth me fucking gnashing my teeth. For all 22 minutes of this. I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. It's just it drives me nuts.
You know, it doesn't bother me until someone goes really overboard with it.
That's exactly
it.
Yes.
So it doesn't bother me. And like in real life, I have never known someone who just flat out dialed that one all the way up to 11.
Exactly.
So yeah, and so it's like it's almost just like a TV personality.
I
So-
knew a few.
I think didn't one of your roommates up in Fort
Collins.
Collins like that? That was like
Not
20
one of my
fucking years
roommates,
ago.
but he was one of our friends that
Yeah, okay.
and
Was he from Hawaii? I think I know
Yeah.
who you're talking about. Yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. Okay, yeah.
there were a few
Yeah.
because he had friends too, and some of them were definitely.
But it
over
was
the top.
very kitsch back then to kind of do that, you know? So yeah, now it's just like, okay, man, that's been around for 20 fucking years. Let it go. So anyway,
Just be people.
just be people.
Well, I mean
So-
that's the tricky part of it, right? Is it's the same thing where, like, I think we said this a while back. It's the same thing that goes to transgenderism that that drives me up a wall. Is you are doing an impression of someone else, and that's degrading to my eyes.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you've seen this on your transcription stuff, but is that worse in Britain than it is here? So, because I've seen like just some really over the top ones.
It can be.
Yeah,
It's-
okay.
It's
Because they were doing something with like Parliament the other day, and they had this guy that was like a representative. I was like, holy crap, man,
Yeah.
you dialed that up to 12,
Yeah.
bro. So yeah, it was just like, wow. And then, you know, people don't pay attention to me. I was like, how could they not? You know, kind of thing.
It's-
You know, yeah. So it was just, yeah, I mean, it was really over the top. I don't know. It was just a little stupid thing on Twitter that I saw that was serious. I mean, from his standpoint and
Yeah.
stuff, but it was just like, wow, man, ugh, really? So
Yeah, I mean, there are people over there that dial it up to 11,
Yeah.
just like there are here. But I mean, it comes across as, look, I will say this again, and I mean it, is the vision that we have of the British of being sophisticated and cultured comes from television and old movies.
right, yeah.
They are chavs. They are slags.
They're not all like, yeah, you know.
They're ineloquent. I mean, that's the thing. There's just as many people there that look and act like your average Walmart shopper in the middle of Appalachia, America. It's just
Rag on a stick.
they say it a little bit differently,
Yeah.
but it is just as unintelligible as it is here.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's the giant fake boobs kind of thing. You know,
It's just the accent.
I don't even know about the accent, man. But like, there just seems to be a couple that are really, really over the top, like in your face, doing it on purpose, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. And then,
Like, yeah.
you know, so like I don't think I maybe have had like one or two students who were transgender or close to it, and it was never like, hey, pay attention to me, kind of thing. You know,
No.
I don't know. So,
No.
but I don't even know. I don't even know if that's confirmed, man. It just seems like there's like this thin, very thin layer of Twitter out there that's just like, okay, this is a show. So,
Well, okay, so
and I don't know if that's fair or accurate, but it's just the impression that I'm getting right now. So, from some of those accounts that I've seen do that.
no,
So-
you're absolutely right. And look, I've had like the misfortune of speaking about this for longer than a lot of people saw this
Yeah,
in
sure.
the public eye, because I saw, like, as you watched your train game get destroyed by the crowd that creeps in.
God damn it, they're out at it. They're at it again, man. There's a new one. There's a new train game, and I was like, man, maybe I'll start a new fucking channel. And instantaneously on other channels where I saw other people posting this shit, those fuckers invaded it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Why?
I don't
It's a
know why.
train.
Train people are fucking weird, man.
Oh.
So there is something that I did not expect in this community, that like every train website that I've been a part of descends into fucking petty chaos. And then they do it with your YouTube comments on games. So if you play a train game. So it's just, there is something about it where they get out and, just bark at each other. So that it's just something that's weird in that community. That's just this cancer rot. So,
well, it is, man.
And I don't get it, man.
It's funny because I watched it like on all the places that I used to go. I used to watch that fucking disease discourse come in and ruin the spot. It happened like All right, so I watched it happen to Penny Arcade. Then I watched it happen to Something Awful, which
That I did watch that one happen a little bit too, because that dude, the Jurassic World guy,
Yeah.
was
yeah,
So
where it was a place that was designed to be as offensive as possible, got overtaken by the transgender community, who then became untouchable and banned you at the drop of the hat. Then they infiltrated NeoGAF. Then they splintered off and made their own private hellhole named as Reset Era.
that is hard.
And that place is the armpit of the fucking internet, and I thank God every day that it's corralled
I
them
think
there.
being armpit is
Yeah.
like generous, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the bile duct of the
It is. This is the
Like, did you have to look just to see because it's so bad?
oh, you hate watch it. You go in there and you watch the place collapse.
They would launch missiles onto other sites, so you got curious to see where they came from. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd sit there and watch that happen, but yeah, that was the thing is I watched this migration of basically this like trans locust mentality, because it's not even just the participants, it is the hangers on that are so goddamn vocal.
It's the roadies.
Yeah. So goddamn vocal about this. And this is again, this came up today. Like again, I was talking about this earlier. And if you look up the data, right, remember that somehow in this country we have like a trans week or month or whatever.
Do we?
And we also have transgender day of remembrance, right? Now, if you go to the fucking FBI site right now, okay, right now, because they track this shit, okay, transgenders are like the second safest group in the United States.
Who's the safest?
When it comes to like discriminated groups, I think it's like handicapped people or like being discriminated against for having a disability. I think they were number one. Like transgender
Most
was
protected?
like, yeah, well, like least amount of crime perpetrated.
Oh,
against,
got it.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like the second safest group is transgender, right?
Well, some of that's just so small. So, I mean, this tiny slice
Well,
of
it
the
depends if
population.
they're going by percentage of the people. Or if
Your
they're
question
going...
is it per capita?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
Per capita, it's tiny.
yeah,
Right. And in
Yeah.
which case, then...
Oh, you're
That
talking
would-
about raw numbers, too.
Yeah, well, I
it is
mean,
big
if you're
country.
saying that, 1 out of 100
well,
get attacked versus...
that's the thing is raw numbers and per capita, it's exceptionally low.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the other thing on top of that here is the perception that the media will give you is that they'll act like Patrick and I are two like spittoon like rednecks, just ding, and it's just like
Spit in a bucket.
yeah, they act like there are people out there let's go out there and hunt some transgenders for sport.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, there's a trophy one,
That one's got an extra thick accent. Get him.
it's got 10 points. Yeah, it's
Double your points. You hit him with your truck.
oh, I meant the antlers, but
Oh, you the
that's
antlers.
it,
Oh, got it. Oh, okay.
But when it comes down to it, most transgender violence overwhelmingly is done by their partner.
Well, yeah, domestic violence is the one great thing that, like, it's one of the many unspoken things that have that community seems to ignore. So, in particular,
But it's not regular people painting a bullseye on there.
no, it's not.
Like,
Well, and I think the same thing's true in some respects with anti-Semitism right now too. It's just it's completely gassed. So it's juiced to like generate clicks and stuff like that. It's just the trans community kind of pioneered that really well. So
well, they didn't pioneer it; they commandeered it.
they totally commandeered it. Yeah.
They,
So like
they
I
didn't
mean,
start shit. This
dude-
is the same wandering crowd of losers that you've known since like the Occupy Wall Street.
oh yeah, it's the bread tube crowd. So yeah, I know. I'm very good at sniffing these people out, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
In
you
fact,
are.
I gave a little
Fucking-
crash course on it a couple weeks ago, right here on this podcast. So yeah.
Patrick the Bloodhound.
I know. Yeah. I smell communist. So, yeah.
Well, one of the guys I met up with today, he's looking for a job still. and he applied at a place, and then Google found out he applied there, and they're like, hey, you might be a good fit. Here, will you do this survey, and we'll get back to you and all this
How
stuff.
did Google find out that he applied there? That's weird.
I don't know. But Google hit him up.
Oh, nice.
And it was, what's your age? What's your race? What's your ethnicity? Do you define yourself as this? Do you define yourself as that? And, you know, he marked the boxes as saying, I'm a white male, 30 years old. The next day it says, oh, sorry, your job's been filled.
I don't know if that has anything to do with, like, how you sign that survey. I got to be blunt with you. I know a little bit more about backroom HR systems, and they're usually highly separated on that shit, especially for a giant fucking lawsuit target like Google. So, yeah. So that thing's basically just a money bag that actually dishes out lawsuit money if you get, you know, disqualified based on something like that. So
Did you not see what was posted from IBM today?
What was it?
The fucking CEO of IBM was caught making a statement about giving bonuses to his management staff, right, for bringing in diversity quotas.
Yeah, that's illegal.
It's way illegal.
Yeah, that
and
guy.
he tried to backpedal it today.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
No.
Yeah. His ass is grass.
I believe he's on sinking ship.
I
referred to that as
You can't do that shit.
Exactly.
But
no.
to say that it doesn't happen, I can't say that.
I can only speak from experience with me and the hiring that I've done in the past. So when I actually screen candidates, I have none of that information in front of me. So
No. I got you.
I have none of that. I mean,
But if it screens it before it ever gets to you.
Yeah, so like my knowledge of HR systems, those are two separate things, and so when they revoke diversity quotas, it is not attached to the people who are actually in the organization at all.
No.
So you're just a number on a spreadsheet. At that point in time, we got a black guy. It's not this is Bob, the black guy. Okay, so
No, that's how you do it in like the 70s.
that is how you do it in the 70s, or if you're a really small company.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, well, we have one Indian working here, and that's
Right.
you know that guy over there.
Yeah.
So because we all know who he is, but I
Right.
guarantee you, a company like Google, especially after all that, who's that guy with the big fucking schnoz? So who wrote that letter a couple years ago?
I don't.
You know who I'm
Of
talking about,
course I know.
though. Yeah.
I know
So
who
he was
you're
actually right about a lot of that
Of
shit.
course he
but,
was.
Well, he wasn't entirely right about a lot.
No,
of
he was.
shit. Some of it was definitely sour grapes on his part, but
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he pointed out very serious problems within the culture.
he did.
Yeah.
And so, and coming from a company that goes out of its way to recruit people on I-9 visas, or HB1 visas, I guarantee you there's a bright line between like collecting that data and then using it in hiring decisions. So,
Well, and also on top of this here, I mean, this is. Look, a lot of places have decided that their diversity quota is actually white females, which is fascinating to me because it's a greater percentage than it is men. It is it is in no way actually a minority. But I mean, places where, and this is like, I'm sorry, I looked at the trailer this week for GTA 6, and
I thought it looked pretty good.
all right, it does look like the game looks pretty good, but there's just something about it where like I look at it and I'm like, this just does not have that irreverent sort of like dumbass humor.
No, they're gonna scrub some of that out of there, man.
It just feels like it's gonna be.
Dude, it was 10 years ago. It's a different audience today, so I get that.
Well, it's way different makers, man. Like if you
It is different
if you look
makers,
at it,
yeah.
if you look at the company photo, it's all white women.
Well, and on top of it, it's. I mean, a lot of those guys were at kind of like mid part of their career anyway at that point.
With time to move on, but yeah, that's like
Absolutely, like
What do you
I mean, if you
replace
do
it
that,
with? I don't know, man.
well, whoever wants to get in here and is qualified, I guess. I don't know. So I can't speak that much to it, but
bullshit. Look, okay, so let me put it to you this way: the applicant pool to pull from in terms of male employees versus female in that field, you're looking at probably 10 to 1.
I don't know that anymore, man. So,
Easy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Easy.
I'd like to see some stats on that. So, yeah.
In terms of game developers, man.
Well, game
that's-
development is so much more than it used to be. Now you have music. Now you have animation.
No,
now you
it's
have
not music
sound
and
design.
animation.
Now you have all these people who just specialize in that one thing. It's not just Sid Meier putting together fucking his own artwork. So I get it, but You know, I don't think the game is going to be that far off of where GTA 5 was to the point in time. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought they did a good job.
I think the game looks awesome. Like,
I thought they
looks awesome.
I thought they did a good job of actually explaining or illustrating the fact that you're actually going to play multiple characters like you did in the last one. So
That's true. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
So that's good. I think that's what actually made that game really pop. So
I don't know, man.
you're not going to get N bombs in this one, though, man. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat.
That was.
I know that was like everybody loved that, and that was back in 2015 when it was totally cool. Well, like 2012. How old is that game?
Yeah.
That
It's been that long, man.
Wow.
Well, they did all of our Red Dead 2 in between there.
Yeah.
So in between those games, that game is humongous. So
Wow.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I thought the trailer looked pretty cool. I thought the map looked cool. So
Look, everything about the game looks cool. The motion looks cool. The physics look cool if those are accurate. You know, they always had character models that look a generation ahead of whatever everybody else is doing. Because if I'm gonna go
you can watch Starfield.
that's so
Let me talk to you, Jeffrey, right in your eyes, you know, like, you know, with my nose this far away from the camera.
no, you're absolutely right. No, it's especially if you played that recently, and you're like,
I
"God damn,
did.
all of these people look like Gumby," and then you
And then you go play Cyberpunk, and it's like, oh my god, this game is 3 years older than that one. What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like, don't get me wrong. If this was like 2012, I'd be like, this is pretty cool. But now I'm like, what's wrong with your face?
I know. What's wrong
Yeah.
with your mouth? You know,
Like,
so why does your jaw move like that? So it's like Dark Forces all over again.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just feeding him like a Hostess cupcake and watching the aftermath, like all at once. That's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that though, man. We'll have to see exactly where it goes. But like DEI initiatives and companies are on their way out. So I'm telling you that right now, man. Like the business community is taking a look at it and say this is nothing but minefields out here. And so, you know, all we're asking for is more lawsuits. So let's start scrubbing some of the shit from, you know, the training manual. Let's start actually just hiring the candidate pool, you know, without collecting some of that information. You know, it's happening, man. So people are moving on.
No, look, there are certain things that, yes, there are places that are still indebted to BlackRock and stuff, and they still have
Did it to BlackRock.
You don't know about this. All right, so BlackRock has scores about basically DEI under a
Oh, you mean the investment company?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I had
And
no
so
idea.
Yeah.
a lot of their qualifications are based off of whether you have these initiatives in place.
That's only based on whether or not they invest in you.
That is correct.
And if they invest in you, BlackRock, okay, so I've seen a lot of shit on this over the years. They don't control other companies like a fucking marionette.
No, but they do have a score.
They do.
And if you don't meet that score, yeah, you're not eligible.
Eligible for what?
Investment.
No company cares about whether or not BlackRock invests in them. That money doesn't go to them. BlackRock doesn't say, hey, I'm going to invest in you and give all this money over to IBM. It goes to the investor. It goes to other shareholders who are willing to sell. So at that point in time, that money does not go to IBM if BlackRock is investing in you.
Check them out, man. All right.
Man, I understand finance very well. Thank you. So,
No, you're
not how that
talking about a
works.
typical model. I'm imploring you. All right.
Okay, what should
not
I
to
look
just. Okay. No. You know what? All right. So tell you what.
Yeah, no. If I'm missing something here, let me know.
Okay. I just want you to just like go ahead and do a little bit of BlackRock searching.
Sure.
And look for it in terms of that, basically that DEI score.
So all right. So let me explain to you what I know about it, and you tell me if I'm off base on this. All right. So what I understand about their DEI score is BlackRock for years, and their guy, I can't remember the guy who's in charge of it.
Larry Fink.
Larry Fink, thank you. So who's a big Silicon Valley investor for many, many years. Yada yada yada. He was one of the guys on whatever that row is. I don't know. So when he establishes BlackRock, which becomes this enormous, like basically financial investing firm. So they invest in order to promote certain things. It's a little bit of activism investment. But they've just gotten so big over the years because it's been a great time. I think they got started back in like 2005 or something like that. It was an absolutely perfect time to get in the market. So, because it's right before the crash. And so they got really powerful and stuff like that. They've been pushing the DEI stuff for years because, you know, they want sustainable investments over the long run. So Larry Fink's got his own ideas on how companies should be run and stuff like that. But he doesn't actually control those companies. So if he invests, even if he owns like 30% of a company, okay, and controls a bunch of their board seats and stuff like that, there's still a wall between him and the decisions that are made at that company. I mean, he has essentially one decision: do I invest or not?
Right.
Yeah. And so, but when he invests, okay, that money that he invests does not go to that company. So companies don't recruit him to come invest with us, okay, unless they're very small startups and they need the capital right off the bat through an IPO. Then they would actually get the money at that point in time. But if I'm an established company like Facebook, well, Facebook's a bad example because it's basically owned by its own emperor. Yeah. So, with preferred founder shares, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, so BlackRock, I've seen a lot of narratives about how BlackRock is this thing that's like controlling all kinds of shit behind the back. But people don't understand there's a wall between like the decisions a company makes and its investments, okay? People invest in it.
Okay, tell you what.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll do. I'll do a little bit more reading. Okay. You do a little bit more reading. We'll compare notes.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot on it, but I've seen a lot of bad takes on it too. So,
oh, sure.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Like, it's so hard with. It's like Gaza. You don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Look, there are people that still think about like the national deficit and like national debt as like something that China comes and
right, they repossess the fort.
Yeah, the fucking knee breakers and say they're going to call in that debt ceiling. Like,
yeah,
don't tell me that you haven't heard that. But yeah,
I've heard that many
there's
times.
Plenty of people that still say that here. But okay, so not to toot my own horn, but what is this thing that you said that you were?
Oh, George Floyd. You were right about it. The whole fucking thing. So did you see that? Did you see that shit?
The toxicology report?
No, there's a whole new documentary that dropped like 3 days ago.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck. You got to go watch it, man. So it validates just about everything you were saying about the trial. So you can't even get it on YouTube. It's on Rumble. So I had to download that motherfucker to go watch that thing. Yeah.
Well, I watched the trial, so I mean...
So there's a bunch of shit that was left out of the trial. So that has come to light since, including some body cam footage that is absolutely showing that his knee is on his fucking shoulder, not his neck.
No, that I've seen.
Yeah, no, I had not seen that before. And there's some new stuff in that thing too that nobody's seen before that shows additional like angles on it from cameras footage that was absolutely excluded, even as exculpatory evidence, and it was excluded from the trial. So now, unfortunately, they didn't go into much reason as to why that is, other than just to insinuate the judge was a dick. So, but I'd like to know why. I'd like to see, like, okay, why was that actually excluded? So a lot of the training materials were excluded. So yeah, which came out later when his mom gave them over to the media. It's like, no, this is actual fucking training.
Yeah,
it's right here. Yeah.
Like there's a picture of it. There's like a drawing.
There's totally a picture of it. But it does show, it stitches together like almost the entire sequence of event up to the point in time where he like passes out. So, but then in this documentary, it picks up where he's alive when they put him in the fucking ambulance. Okay. And the paramedics don't have his oxygen hooked up. And it's like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. So we were lied to.
Yes.
Lied to a lot. So yeah.
All
so
the way
it's kind of bad, man. It's a real bad look.
Whoa.
So it makes that Minnesota or the Minneapolis mayor look like an absolute turd. So, because, he was basically like, the police chief is like, no, we can't include that. We can't tell them this. Police chief lied on the stand. So it is awful, man. It is absolutely terrible. So, so my question now is, why did the Supreme Court reject his appeal? So, did they comment on that? I didn't even look at it. I got to go look at it because I just watched this shit yesterday. But I was like, oh fuck, I got to apologize to Jeff because he was right about all that
from day one. Wow. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. This was
well, the photo of him on his. It does look like he's on his neck. So the photo that the crowd took that went viral as fuck.
Yes.
So I can see why people, because I did too. I was like, oh, he's fucking killing that guy. So, but then you don't see the other angle. So, and then the jurors didn't see the other angle, which is really fucked up.
Dude, it's okay. Again, it's
it's fucked up, man. It is bad.
Even at that, right? When it comes down to it, it comes down to page 2. And yes, I have this saved on my phone. Okay, 3. No life-threatening injuries identified.
Was found to his neck. Yeah.
Okay.
To his neck.
No it just basically, so it says no facial, oral, mucosal, nothing. Okay. There are no life-threatening injuries. There's just like a couple of scrapes.
But you're reading off the autopsy.
Okay. And then when it
just
goes,
just for the audience.
oh, they know.
They know. Both of them.
They know. And then when it comes down to toxicology, part 6.
Oh my god, he was high as fuck.
Blood and novel psychoactive substances screens. Fentanyl, 11 nanograms to milliliter.
It was enough to kill anybody.
That's fatal.
Yeah.
Norfentanyl, 5.6. I don't know what for ANPP, but that can't be good. Methamphetamine is definitely bad for you.
Yeah.
Hydroxy delta 9 THC, right? And then it says caffeine positive. Now this is
That bastard had a soda.
Yeah, soda. Yeah.
this is the thing is I don't, that's something where I don't know if it's
Well, if you watch the full sequence, and I don't know if you have, but you should go check that out because they kind of stitch it all together with the various body cams. So from the beginning of the encounter when the cops get out of the car.
Yeah.
So all the way through, that guy is high as fuck, man. And you can tell he is sick as hell. So
well, the footage before that even happens, and he's in the store, right?
they show a little bit of that. So, but they kind of they cut in at the point in time where the cops go talk to the guy at the register.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then they go through the entire sequence from multiple standpoints until he's actually passed out. Then they cut until they're putting him in the ambulance, and it's actual fucking cops who are doing the CPR on him.
Yeah.
So, and then the fire department doesn't show up because they go to the wrong place. So, but the cops call an EMT within like 17
Immediately.
seconds. Yeah. It's like 17 seconds of him, being on the ground. And they're like, this guy's code 3, which is apparently like, we know he's high as fuck. So we got to get him in an ambulance, as soon as they can. The ambulance is there pretty quick. So, but the EMTs, they're not the ones who are actually working on them. It's weird. So
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
And all I can say is, from what they presented, they did everything procedurally the way that they're supposed to. Everything,
Well, there's 2 rookie cops there. They do fuck up a couple times. So, but like
they're not serving 22 years and got stabbed.
but they're
a whole bunch
serving
of times.
4. So, and then so there's 4 cops at the scene.
Yeah.
2 of them are on like their 5th fucking shift as a cop.
Yeah.
They are brand spanking new. So, and I don't know why they're working together. That's crazy. So, you think you team up one brand spanking new cop with but no, you got 2 guys who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
But then when Derek Chauvin and his partner show up, both of those guys have like a combined 30 years.
Yeah.
So, and they kind of handle it really professionally. So up to a certain point in time where the crowd, and then they show the body cam footage of the crowd. And so you expect like this humongous, like 50-person crowd. It's like 8 people. It's like 8 people. Okay. And one of them's a firefighter. So, yeah, it was weird. But then anyway, the documentary goes on and they actually talk about like the fall of the 3rd precinct and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, man, you gotta watch that shit. It's amazing.
Okay,
Because they talk about like how the mayor is like, they're not telling the people in the cops in the building what's going on. Meanwhile, they're planning on evacuating it and stuff, and so they leave a whole shitload of evidence in there that gets trashed. So because the building gets burned to the ground, and if you look at the crowds, man. They're white.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Well, this was okay.
It's a whole bunch of fucking bread tube motherfuckers.
And this specifically came up today.
Calling it bread tube?
Oh, these are the communists on YouTube, man.
So
you probably know the story behind it better than I do, but it's a moniker that just kind of worked.
Man. I mean, if you want to talk about like a high school clique of people that. So take a group of about 6 people that get super high off their own farts, right? And they are so obsessed with telling each other how cool they are that eventually you get these hangers-on that are like, I want to be part of that club by any means possible, even if it means believing the most retarded shit imaginable, right? Even if that means taking the first-hand sources of people that, like, I don't know, they'll tell people that left communist regimes, right, that they're wrong.
Oh yeah, people who defected from North Korea.
Oh,
right? They will either insult the person or they'll say it's not real communism. And this is very, very...
Where is real communism going on that it's happy?
It doesn't exist.
So where do they say it is?
Well, you're arguing a hypothetical.
Right.
You're talking about like, well, you didn't come from real communism.
Where's real communism?
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It's like UFOs. No, sorry.
So remember, when these people say like, I fled Cuba, they're like, well, that's not really a communist place.
So that's why it sucks, because they're not doing communism correctly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they blame that on capitalism.
Yeah.
But
capitalism is the great Satan. So you always have to... all arrows point towards capitalism eventually, and the fact that I have to fucking work in order to eat. Look,
man, okay, look, I thought about this here, where they were talking about, okay, so I've often joked about it, and then you've grafted onto this here. I love it. It's the laptop class, right? Where these people think because they write one column a month on
Reddit. Oh no, they get on Business Insider where you get like fucking, which is now so open source now that they just call it Insider. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Reddit janitors don't get paid.
Reddit janitors
Gotcha.
They don't get paid.
Yeah.
They get paid in karma, and think that it translates to money. No, the only money you have is from disability, and that
Social Security.
yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like that's. And these people that are extremely bitter about this.
They are.
But they think that
I got a philosophy degree and I can do Reddit. So.
But yeah, so this was like the question of anti-Semitism, Harvard, and all this other stuff came up. And Marina, she was like concerned about like the Palestinian, protesters and stuff. And I was like, when they were talking about, do kids feel, threatened on these campuses? I'm like, sure, some of them do. I was like, but you just have to track this wandering crowd of losers that's been moving from cause to cause. And
tag them.
yeah, exactly. No, that's true. That's true. You just get them right on the ear.
Yeah.
Because these are the same losers, like you said, these white people in the George Floyd riots. I was like, look.
That blew my mind, man. When they were showing crowds of the people outside the courthouse chanting the shit. So sure, it's black guy with the microphone, but then it pans to the crowd. And it's like, oh my god. So you guys are all don't you have finals this week? Kind of thing. Yeah.
And the rest of you, it's like, why aren't you working? I have to work. Why aren't you guys?
Exactly.
But yeah, that was the thing. She was like, do you see this as a rise of anti-Semitism? I'm like, well, so I have to answer this honestly. It's like, so. When it comes to, like, if you're doing this on a campus, right, and you just take the whole group of people, you say, like, all right, so 95% of people are just going to walk right on by because it's not my fucking problem. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to think about this. I got my own shit to worry about.
I got finals this week.
Right? I got finals this week. Fuck these guys, right? Then you're going to have, the remaining 5% of that, a fraction of that percent are people that are like, yeah, actually, from the river to the sea, I want them all gone. And then the rest of that 5% are people that are just like, well, I like being outdoors. I like being part of something.
Have a cause.
Yeah.
Would it be important? Was I influential?
Because thereupon lies the thing is like, okay, so you're protesting in Los Angeles. You are protesting in New York. You are protesting in Chicago and London and Paris and Germany. What I can tell you right now is the people of Gaza would love to have you there fighting against the IDF. But you don't want to go there. You don't actually want to be a queer for Palestine because they'll throw you off the roof. But you do want to do that here, right? Where you're perfectly safe and you're just part of an out-group, right? You're just part of a quote-unquote out-group, which happens to be the quote-unquote in-group, right? And you have been, because I can turn around and say, like, what, do you guys not care about Ukraine anymore?
Yeah,
no, you don't.
Not, yeah.
It's the same tagged assholes. If you go back just a couple of steps, where were you before? Oh, you were the guys wishing death on everybody that wasn't wearing 2 masks.
Yeah, it's a roving band of zombies. So they keep going from town to town, ravaging it. So stripping it of resources.
Yeah.
I wonder what will be next. We'll have to watch.
That's the thing. You just don't
Who's
know.
next on the menu?
You just don't know. Remember, here's the thing. Remember when they came out, they caused all that ruckus because of the Supreme Court ruling on Roe versus Wade?
Oh, yeah.
If that was such a big deal, they'd still be outside those Supreme Court justices' houses.
Yeah, but see,
But
it's
they're
not
not.
that big of a deal because, I don't know why. That one doesn't make much sense because, I mean, if they found any kind of, like, juice to actually get people out to the polls, that was it. So,
Well, it did during that.
and it
that election
probably will
cycle.
again next year if the Republicans are stupid and start putting that stuff on state ballots. So, but
I agree.
I don't know. They might have learned their lesson at the last one. We'll see.
They've done everything they can not to talk about it. There is
but it's not an organization that has one octopus brain, man. And so, like,
no, the one octopus brain is a fucking idiot. Ronna McDaniel is a moron.
I wouldn't even say she's an octopus brain, man.
Well, theoretically,
So-
she's the one in charge of making sure funds get to the right places, and she shortchanged a lot of crucial races. But
She does, but calling the RNC an organization is kind of like calling a teachers union a union. It's gonna have a tough time with the spaghetti dinner, let alone the nationwide command. So the only one that's worse right now is the DNC. So.
well, your DNC right now, again, it's they're in the worst possible position where the left position is pro-Palestine, and you're the party that courts fucking Jews.
They're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. They're already fucked for next year. I think that some of the smarter ones are starting to realize that. So, yeah.
Because I'm telling you, like, all the
cooked.
people that I would look to be yapping at the mouth right now about this is terrible, like, I haven't heard a fucking word out of Sarah Silverman, and she never shuts up. But as a Jew,
Yeah, you're right.
as a Jew, it's like, well, I can't stay fuck these Palestinian motherfuckers, right? Because I'm in Hollywood. So I just have to lay low and just be like, yeah, I hate this, but I can't say shit.
There's a few people who've been laying low. So on that one.
Most of the people that I would expect to mouth off at this, right?
Well, I mean, okay, so if you put me in her shoes, that's the smart strategy, is just chill out, because it looks like Israel is going to wrap the thing up pretty quick. So you can go back to, spouting whatever, like, super leftist ideas you want once that's done. So once the rubble is in the sea, then your mouth will be free. I don't know, man. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Democrats have big problem next year. Big fucking
Huge.
problem. Yeah,
And
they do.
they're all
and it's
self-inflicted.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's all rakes, like, and Sideshow Bob. So, so yeah, nothing but rakes. So, but I don't know. We'll see, man.
Well, bro,
there's gonna be a split, and it's gonna be pretty fucking ugly. So. There's gonna be like a Democrat rapture. So in probably about May. So
a Democrat rapture.
there's gonna be a Democrat rapture. So yeah.
Where they have to like dispense with the non-believers.
Or the other way around, man. Maybe the believers will stay and they'll dispense with the riffraff. Who knows?
When do they have to decide on Biden?
Oh, it's already decided, man.
No.
So it's too late. I mean, Iowa's like fucking what, in less than a month?
That's what I thought. So
yeah, and so Iowa and New Hampshire right behind it, and Bernie Sanders, he's 100% behind Biden, so you can fucking write off New Hampshire already. So JFK Jr. is going down in flames hard ever since he actually turned around and said, "Oh yeah, I wrote on Epstein's plane twice." People are like, "What? So, Cornel West is nowhere to be found. So
Yeah.
I think he gave up, man. He's just like, I ran for president. And then after a little while, I was like, yeah. I just said that to say that I was saying that,
But it's fine.
He's gone.
Look-
Marianne Williamson is out there drowning like she always does. She's like that last survivor on the Titanic that it's like, oh, we forgot about her, man. So there's nobody. That's why I'm my money is on a Gavin Newsom coup. So he's gonna try it during the convention. So
Well, dude, I mean, they just voted today to be in impeachment inquiries in the House.
yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. It's still going to get through the Senate. So, and Democrats control the Senate, and there's a whole bunch of docile Republicans in the Senate too who are like, nah, yeah, we'll give $200 million more to Ukraine. Cool. So with an 87% majority. So
that's fascinating.
It's fine, man. They need the money. So, but still,
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Ukraine?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
It's time to wrap this up.
Well, you can't force either side to the table necessarily unless you turn the tap down, and so that's a pretty good way to do it.
That's exactly it. You just do. It's like, look.
You can turn it down, man. They need to shore up defenses a little bit and stuff. I'm on board with that. I don't mind it. So I know you guys don't agree, but that's fine.
I don't know what he thinks. It's...
I haven't cared.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's an absolutely fair perspective. I have to, respect that here. So, yeah,
I'm cool if we stop giving money, but or if we do, then let's make an actual plan.
Well,
and get everyone on board and just be like, all right, we're gonna put this money to use. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get this done, and we're gonna show that we actually mean business. Do you really want to keep playing around here?
I think it's kind of the point in time where it's so ossified that neither side is actually going to be able to do all that much, and so, hopefully, at some point in time, I don't know. See, like my whole thing is that I think the Russians have pissed off the Ukrainians enough where they will fight them till the end of the fucking days, so, like every grandma in Ukraine has basically an RPG under her bed.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get very far. But then again, the Russians aren't going to run on. They're not going to run on Moscow. So it's not even possible. So they keep sending their tanks back because they get blowed up. So because tanks are useless nowadays. So
yeah.
And so I don't have a problem spending some more money to get them to actually like fucking restock on their man pads and tow missiles and stuff like that, because that's fine. That's all money that's spent in the United States anyway. So we just send them the shit afterwards.
I know we just sent them the shit.
Yeah, that's fine. So it still goes in the pockets of American workers. So at BA and Lockheed Martin.
Kind of. I mean,
it totally does. That's where that money goes. So.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, see, you don't care. So, yeah.
The money that they throw about they throw around that much money on everything.
Well, what they need to be throwing their money on is moving that wall back 10 feet from the southern border.
And filling it with landmines.
No, I don't believe in landmines. I told you.
Machine gun turrets. Yeah.
No, it's drones. They drop those grenades from up high. You put up the second fence, right where the border starts. It says entry points that way. If you cross over this barbed wire line, you will be fired upon. En Espanol, right? And yeah, that's what you need to spend the money on.
That would make a difference in my mind, but there's no way you can't do it.
The border's going to cost Biden the election, so it's getting worse. So if you look in the polling, the people are transitioning away from like, oh my god, the economy is terrible, to like, oh my god, it's the fucking border, now. So
been 3 straight years of it.
Hey man, it's like whatever thing rises to the top that actually is your Joe Biden harpoon, man, that gets popular quick. So.
Hey man, he wanted it.
Oh yeah.
No,
that's what you get.
He's got 3 straight years of just floods of people.
And the amazing thing on this, and this is the thing that Patrick and I have joked about here, is given that Latinos are, like I said, they're a stone's thrown away from being kissed in as the new whites. They're moving right. That's the thing.
They're all Republicans, man. As soon as they come over. So, and if they're not, their kids definitely are. So yeah. So that whole white replacement theory was completely wrong.
We just find new white.
It was completely wrong.
Yeah, for a long time, Italians weren't white enough. Now they're white.
Oh my god, that was 100 years ago.
Irish weren't white enough.
That was 150 years ago, man.
Jews weren't white enough. Now they're white.
That was 70 years ago.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the Latinos, they're going to be white soon. Okay? The Asians is up to them.
I wouldn't even see it as white, man. I mean, the thing is,
honorary white dude.
It's not even that, man. I mean, if you actually if you look at statistical data where they actually fill out surveys and stuff, they don't fill out the ethnicity column after one generation. They don't care anymore. They just see themselves as American. So,
well, yeah.
And you go down. You guys you've been down in South Texas.
South Texas. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were in Houston for a while, right? Yeah, okay. So every Latino you see has boots and a cowboy hat. So So it's just, and they roll around in the same F-150 that everybody else does.
They want the same things.
They want the exact same things. Yeah.
Bro, I gotta tell you, this is the thing that flicks my shit is not just I've harped on this before in the past when it comes to trans people being an impression of women. This is you, duh. And the same thing goes. We had
a title.
Yeah. The same thing goes with like, oh, okay, well, you're gay. Well, this is my impression of how a woman is in a man's body. I find this offensive. But the other thing that I've always harped on, and I did a show on this the other day with Selena Gomez, where chefs come into her house and they cook for her.
That's odd.
That's the show.
That's the show. Is that they're going to be like, well, this is how you make flautas.
All right, I'm not going to bag on her on this one because that's a great way to capitalize on celebrity.
Well,
if you want some easy money.
Oh, it's genius.
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Right. But
only if she has like a Mr. Burns button. That if she doesn't like the food, she like opens a trap door.
No. In theory, she helps. She's supposed to be learning along the way, right? And they have this one bitch on that I never like it when they're just kind of like so this is they're speaking, eloquently, and this is like, and this is how you make arroz con pez, right? And where they like you speak normal English, then you zhuzh it up in Spanish, right? Oh. Now, they got this one green-haired bitch on, and here's the thing. She is spending like 45 minutes of this harping on like, well, this is why culture, this is how I'm connecting to my like 17th century ancestors and blah, 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 right? And how this is, Mexican pride and all this other stuff. And so then she starts listing out these ingredients from 17th century, right? And she's like, okay, well, honey, like, garlic is in Mexican.
Where does garlic come from?
Ireland, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Same thing with, she's calling out all these spices, and I'm like, this doesn't come from Mexico. These foods don't come from Mexico. And then, of all things, right? She's doing this, and then she says, in very Spanishly, it's like, and then remember to put in your oregano, right? I'm like, that ain't Mexican. Not even a little bit. Right? Why did you Mexican up oregano? Right? And
it's just flair.
Again, that's the thing that just pisses me off. I'm like, you disgust me.
I think it's ironic because don't potatoes come from Peru? They do. They come from South America, not from Ireland. But you're telling me garlic comes from Ireland?
Yeah, it's garlic comes from it's either there or the Mediterranean. It's
okay.
There's a lot of that stuff that all comes from the Mediterranean.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Oregano for sure does, right? And that's how it ends up in all this other stuff. But it's like you're claiming all this cultural shit. That ain't yours. That ain't yours. That ain't yours. I mean, this is the funny thing when it comes down to it. Like I hear this all the time. This is the whole like joke about we was kangs. Is so if white people then turn around and say like, all right, well, we don't want you culturally appropriating things that are white, so surrender your credit cards and surrender.
Can I use my credit card?
Yes. Sorry.
Give up your eyeglasses. I don't know, man. I think
it's so divisive and dumb.
It's silly. I mean,
people actually say that?
No.
Oh,
all the time.
What? And they give up your eyeglass? No, they don't.
No, they say that they don't want white people appropriating this shit.
Yeah, I've seen that. Gotcha. Like the DEI stuff. I think that's on the way out too, man. So I mean, there's lines around it. Yeah, no, you shouldn't do blackface as a white guy. I get it. Okay, fine. Whatever.
Well, no, you do it at your own peril.
Okay, there you go. You do it at your own peril. You can't control how your audience reacts to that.
It should be within context. Like,
Well, if you're playing a vaudeville actor, right?
Yeah, sure, and you got the star eyes and stuff, sure, you know,
Right.
whatever, or the Pac-Man eyes going on.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, man. So, but still, I mean, you know, you have to like take everything into like consideration of how that's gonna actually, how your audience is gonna react to that too. So,
Well, I mean, like at our school one year, one of the kids wanted to drew the name of Martin Luther King that he was supposed to represent. And
he's a white kid.
Yeah.
He did blackface.
He wanted to, and his mom was just like, "You can't."
See, I'm kind of on this side
like,
to him.
but it's like the kid has no malice. There's
no, there's no malice in it.
There's
Yeah,
no,
there's
this
no
is
malice in it.
doing what you just see as right, and it's everybody else freaking out over it, and it's like, dude, this is completely innocent. It's everybody else freaking out that's making this something.
Exactly. Everybody does need to tone the freak out down. So,
and it's like, dude, a white kid is appreciating a black man. That should be
that should be just
praised and been like, wow, this kid doesn't care about color. Huh.
Right. Well, you're talking about the context of what you mean by it, right? It's the same thing. Like, you can look at a picture of, like, south of the border, you know, that tchotchke stand, and you can have the attitude of like, oh, these guys wear these, right? That's different.
What is that?
It's this place on the East Coast. Like when you're driving from, you know, New Jersey down to Florida, there's a place in like North Carolina or whatever. There's this place over there where they sell like fireworks, and it's just this ghetto, like, racist, like.
Oh, it's designed to be offensive.
Well, it's been there for like since like the 50s, right?
Okay.
And so it's just the play on it is, I don't remember which state it is, but it's basically as soon as you cross that border.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But they just put like a lot of like Mexican crap in there, right? It's like, if you remember like the tchotchke crap that you bought like in Tijuana with me, right? Same thing. So you walk around and people are selling like wooden carved statues of like panthers and shit like that. But there's also it's Mexican themed, right?
Okay.
It's not actually that racist, but there are people that will go there and be like, they'll treat it in a racist way.
Right, yeah, to get clicks on YouTube.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
look at these poor, you know, Mexicans who are blah blah blah, right? But if you go there, it's like, well, this is actually kind of like a fun place, right? You didn't mean anything.
No, you didn't
so
mean
it was like,
it,
same thing as like, well, yeah, I drew Martin Luther King. I feel weird playing this as just white.
White guy? Like, he's a black man.
Right.
What's wrong with that? Like, nobody.
Absolutely nothing.
And that's what bugs me. It's like you guys are making him see color as something substantial.
Yeah, I just imagine the whole catch-22 if you're the teacher and you pull all the black guys out of the pool.
Yep.
So it's like, wow, we're not going to do Martin Luther King. So we've got one extra white guy. Let's do another Robert E. Lee. You know?
Wow.
So yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation, you know. So I don't know, man.
Do you have to put him in?
No, you don't. Yes.
Can you give me someone else?
Yeah, good. All right, so we can go with John Wilkes Booth. Yeah, there you go. So, you know. As someone who explicitly stated the statues belong in a museum.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not here advocating the Confederacy. So.
No, I agree. I agree that every one of those things should be, you know, kept right within the proper context.
Right.
But the idea of, again, these are the same assholes. Like, who pulled down the statues? The same people that are.
Can you imagine if it was like in Europe and they actually like bulldoze something like Auschwitz? So that'd be terrible. So, yeah,
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
it belongs there, man.
I mean, look.
People need to know what that thing was. So, and not just on Wikipedia.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there are certain things that, like, look, a black woman tried to put gasoline on and burn down Martin Luther King Jr.'s house this week.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why?
The press hasn't said, which means it was probably a setup. Probably. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I try. It's a.
Is this something that we have to watch out for as bullshit news in the future, or is this something like, okay, so like?
Oh, she's definitely doing it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
What would you build on Auschwitz? like if you build a home, like
Well,
no, that's
like
not gonna work.
Costco, yeah, is
Yeah,
what you're
see,
asking.
like
Build a Costco.
like nothing that you build there is gonna be like who wants to work there?
Oh,
Who's
that place
really
would be
gonna
haunted
go-
as fuck,
Yeah,
man.
who's gonna go shopping there? Like, what are you gonna build there?
What you would get is like somebody would eventually do it, and it would be like a Larry McMaster's Toyota.
My dad owns a dealership. Yeah. Got the land real cheap.
Like you know there'd be a Bob Pankus
Oh my god.
because these are the people that do that. It doesn't matter how like
It'd be a Cabelas. Yeah. First one in Poland.
Like, there's nothing you can build there that you would want your business there, or a home, or a park, or what?
look.
Well, that's what BreadTube would want it to be. We're going to build a new metro station here so you can all ride the train.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I don't know, man.
Well, I would also look. It wouldn't bother me if they actually built a park there, right? Acknowledging what was underneath it, but the whole idea being that this was a place of like it's still reverent. There's a big monument like here in the middle, but you know this is something that we're letting it grow over, right? You know what I mean? You're having like
I think it should be preserved as pristine as the Nazis kept it. So that way you can, that thing's like, that's like bulldozing a graveyard and the Colosseum all in one. So, you know, I mean, you know, it's a cultural piece. So, yeah. So tens of thousands of people died in the Colosseum.
They
So,
did,
yeah.
but
So for the entertainment, are you not entertained? So, you know,
I mean, it's the context of the time, though.
well, absolutely. So, but it's preserved. So leave it.
Well, because look, there are a lot of people that are going to say it's preserved because it's rad.
Right. I hope not many people would say that about Auschwitz.
I didn't say.
This place is cool. Yeah.
All right, I don't have a clue. Is Auschwitz like a tourist attraction?
Oh yeah.
Really?
So, well, yeah, but it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's one of those places where you're supposed to be quiet while you're there.
It's about
you know?
reverence.
Yeah, it's
yes.
about reverence,
Yes.
and it's about like a monument to like what people are capable of if you give them too many guns and uniforms at the wrong time in their lives.
It's basically
You know.
like the horrors of just following orders.
Yeah.
is why that's
Alright.
It is, yeah. So, and I mean,
specifically, yeah.
it's on my hit list if I ever go to Europe someday. But I've been to the Holocaust Museum in Washington D.C. and it is fucking scary. So
Yeah, that
like,
freaked you the fuck out.
that place did
yeah.
freak me the fuck. They make you walk through a rail car that smells like feet. It's awful. So yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, so the Holocaust is fucking serious. Got it. So you know, I understand now. So
Which is why you shouldn't casually throw around that word to places it doesn't apply.
yeah, genocide does not mean what Twitter seems to think that it means right now. So I hear so many things. Gaza genocide is like, man, if they're trying to genocide, they're doing a shit job of it, man. So
The worst,
yeah,
yes.
they're the absolute worst job that they could actually do. So you're talking about in a modern era where I guarantee you, like, someone would be more than happy to whip you up a whole truckload of napalm. You could take care of this pretty quick, you know. But not actually. Oh, we're building corridors where they can get out. Yeah, this is a great genocide. So yeah, but no. If you question that, oh my God, you get bread tubed.
You get bread too. It's
A lot of times you said that today.
I know that's the theme of the episode, man. So I guess I don't know. No, the theme of the episode is Jeff was right about George Floyd, man. So
Look,
Yeah.
man, the dude is still in prison for a long time. He just got stabbed,
he did.
and this is as political a prisoner as there is, right? Where
Yeah.
there was no level of evidence that was going to exonerate this man because they needed somebody to hang for.
I don't think it's necessarily that. I think that the jury, so George Floyd's trial exposed to probably the weakness in our legal
Yeah, that is
system.
correct.
Is
Yes.
that if I was on that jury, I don't know if I could let him off the hook. So
Okay, so I would have to do it because it's me.
yeah, but I'm a kid, so
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have been a juror.
Well, you could probably get it on the jury. So.
There's no way they would have kept him.
Me? Why?
Well, yeah, why?
Because you would have.
But they don't know that when they ask him on.
You don't think he would have been vocal?
Well, the question, I'm not going to, like, speak up and voice things that they're not asking. Like, so, I mean, if they're going to ask me, do you know anybody on the police force? Well, actually, that would probably be the first part. It's like, well, my friend's wife was, this, I'd be gone.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's once removed. You'd probably be okay.
Well, but I'm the other person, they'd definitely be like, they'd put a check mark by me.
Maybe, yeah. Just depends on how deep in the process you are and stuff like that. I don't know.
But if they go on and they say, like, okay, well, what's your background? I said, I used to be a teacher, did this, and this. They're not going to find anything objectionable in there. They're going to ask me, like, do you have any reasons to like or dislike the police? Right?
Yeah.
And that all depends on how I answer that question. As Dan once said, he said, it's like, they asked him, it's like, have you ever had a unpleasant encounter with the police? He said, what encounter with the police is pleasant? Okay. Well,
off you go, buddy.
Go. Yeah. He was just being honest. He was like, they weren't, coming to talk to me because they were okay with me smoking weed, right? Or at a,
yeah.
Or being pulled over or whatever it is. It's just like, okay, yeah, you're right. That's going to cloud your thing. So if I say something like that, yeah, you're gone. Or if I say, something inflammatory like, it is a disgrace what has happened to this neighborhood because of, no cops or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Right?
Yeah.
But the people that they put on there, the fact that they actually came to a unanimous decision with that evidence is fucking insane.
Well, with the evidence that they were given.
Well, okay.
One thing about that video is there's a shitload of stuff that the jury did not know about. It was excluded. So that's kind of interesting. And so I empathize with, like... So first, the thing that blew my mind was the jury wasn't sequestered. Okay?
No!
That is insane.
No!
So that is absolutely... I mean, when you have fucking MRAPs, guarding the courthouse, but it's like, okay, you're done. See you back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. He's like, can I get a ride? And they're like, no, your car's right over there. Go get. I know, that was weird. I did not know that. So, in fact, I told my wife that, and it blew her mind. She was like, what? So, yeah. So, no change of venue on it either, which is crazy. So, that's why I want to go read the Supreme Court brief on why they rejected his appeal. So, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go look.
What happened, but
or if they did it without comment, that would be interesting because then it would be like, okay, there's another door for you somewhere. You just got to find it, bro. I don't know, man.
Okay.
So, but before I speak on that, I want to go find out after I get done creating all those fucking papers. But that one's interesting, man. But yeah, he got 19 years. I will be shocked if he serves 19 years. So I will be shocked if he's in jail in 2 years. So
if Trump wins, would he walk in and just be like, yeah, you got it?
I don't know. He might. So, I mean, Trump can make a good case that this was basically used as political football or as a stick to hit him with. So, COVID's probably a better one. So, but regardless of that, he's got so Trump likes to golf. He's got a favorite golf club called Immigration. Someone's going to meet that golf club here real soon.
Yeah, that is true.
He is really on point with his 7-iron, man.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't like his most vocal of critics, right? The ones that live in California and New York especially, and Chicago. Nobody right now is more pissed at immigration than New Yorkers, and rightly so.
Yeah, but none of those states are going to swing his way.
They're not going to swing his way. But that's when I say the most vocal of his critics, right, are stuck in the middle of that, where they're not going to raise that same ruckus because they need their city to change.
Yeah, that's going to be done on the local. So I would say for the election, there's 2 states you need to watch, and that's Pennsylvania and Michigan. And fucking Trump's way the fuck up in
He's
Michigan.
like 5 points up.
Oh no, it's more than that. It's like 20. So he's way up in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Biden cannot win without that state. It is not possible for him to win without that state.
Pennsylvania either.
He's not going to win without Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania can go either way. So, you know, but we'll see. We got 11 months. So,
you know, it seems
Joe Biden's not going to make that far.
It seems forever away, and it also seems like tomorrow.
Go watch a video of Joe Biden a year ago. Just find one.
Yeah.
And watch today. That dude is not going to make another year.
No,
there's no fucking. He's going to be in hospice,
dude. So, he's already on like Weekend at Bernie's fumes as is.
Bro, I know, man. I don't think he ties his own shoes anymore. So it's crazy.
All right, so we're hitting this pretty hard here.
That's way more. That's way more content than our audience deserves.
Well, we got. I mean, this is the thing. We got a surprise guest, and you know. It's
well, no,
awesome.
you're regularly scheduled. Yeah.
Well, no, you weren't expected to be.
Oh, because of the weather.
Well, because you're out eating.
Well, no, I went out there so that I was going to be out and about, so I knew I was going to come here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
it was all planned as
the
cycle
loop.
trip.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay, never mind. All right.
I can be a surprise guest. That's fine.
No, it's awesome.
You're always a welcome guest.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, William, why don't you go ahead and wrap things up for us here? What are your final thoughts?
Broncos play Saturday.
Nice.
Against the Lions. I don't know. It could go either way.
Go either way?
It could go either way. The Lions play either really bad or they're extremely mistake prone. So, and we've been making lots of mistakes for the other team. So it's. And the report that Belichick might be out after this year.
I've heard that. It's not going to happen.
Give me odds on that. What do you think?
88%.
Okay. We're gonna lock that down.
He's Gonski.
Why? Why would he be Gonski?
See this new can of worms. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So
that's all the time.
We're done with new business. We'll table that for next time. Yeah. All right. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Hey, I'm Jeffrey.
I'm hitting the button.
Okay.